The morning sun slowly rose above Jerusalem, casting its golden light upon the courts of the temple. Before the sacred altar lay the wooden rods of the descendants of King David, each one representing a man who had come seeking the will of God. The leaders of Israel had prayed. The high priest had sought divine wisdom. Heaven had promised a sign that would reveal the man chosen to become the guardian of the young Virgin Mary. Now the temple stood in solemn silence. Priests waited. The people watched. Every eye was fixed upon the altar where the answer of heaven was about to be revealed. Word had spread throughout Judea, and men descended from the royal house of David journeyed to Jerusalem from many towns and villages. Some were young and strong, others were older and respected. Each carried a simple wooden rod as instructed by the priests. One by one, they stepped forward and laid their staffs before the Lord, trusting that God Himself would reveal His chosen servant. No man dared claim the honor for himself. No one knew whom heaven had chosen. The temple court was filled with anticipation as every heart waited for the voice of God. Yet, among the gathered descendants stood one man whose heart was unlike the rest. He sought neither recognition nor honor. His name was Joseph. Joseph was a righteous man from the house of David. Advanced in years, he had lived a life marked by humility, honesty, and devotion to God. As he looked around the temple court, he saw younger men standing confidently with their staffs before the altar. Quietly, he lowered his eyes. Softly, he whispered to himself, "Surely this matter belongs to younger men." Believing himself too old and unworthy, Joseph chose not to present his rod. Instead, he quietly stepped back into the crowd, hoping no one would notice his absence. The priests completed the ceremony. Every rod had been placed before the altar. Everyone waited. The temple fell silent. But nothing happened. No blossom appeared, no heavenly light shone, no dove descended. Confusion spread across the faces of the people as whispers echoed through the temple courts. Had the sign failed, or had something been overlooked? Has the sign failed? The Lord does not fail. Certain that God always fulfills His word, the high priest returned once more into the sanctuary to seek the Lord. The sacred lamps flickered gently. The fragrance of incense filled the holy place as the high priest bowed before God in earnest prayer. O God of Israel, reveal your will. Suddenly, brilliant light filled the sanctuary. The glory of heaven surrounded the high priest. Then a voice spoke with unmistakable authority. The chosen one stands among those assembled. He alone has not presented his rod. The high priest lifted his eyes in amazement. The mystery had been solved. The chosen servant was present all along. The priests hurried into the temple court, searching among the descendants of David. Their eyes scanned every face until one priest suddenly pointed toward the back of the gathering. There stood Joseph, quietly watching from a distance. "Joseph, son of David, come forward." Joseph looked around in surprise. "Me? The Lord has called for your rod." With humble steps, Joseph made his way through the silent crowd. No one spoke. Every eye followed him. The man who had sought no position of honor was now being called by heaven itself. Joseph approached the altar and gently placed his simple wooden staff before the Lord. Silence filled the temple once again. Nothing moved. The people held their breath. Then, suddenly, a brilliant beam of heavenly light poured into the temple. It rested upon Joseph's rod. Before the eyes of the entire assembly, the dry wood began to change. Tiny buds appeared. Moments later, beautiful white blossoms burst forth from the lifeless branch. Gasps of astonishment echoed throughout the courtyard. Worshippers said, "A miracle!" Then, from above, a radiant white dove descended through the heavenly light. It gently settled upon the flowering rod. The entire temple was flooded with glorious light as the people stood in awe before the unmistakable sign of God. Just as heaven had promised, the Lord had revealed his chosen servant before all Israel. The Spirit of the Lord had made his choice known. The high priest lifted his voice before the people. Joseph has been chosen. The mystery had come to its conclusion. The guardian appointed by God had been revealed. Mary, the young virgin who had grown up in the service of the temple, entered quietly with her attendants. Her eyes rested upon the blossoming rod and the dove that remained upon it. She understood that the Lord himself had spoken. The priests gathered before the altar to complete the sacred ceremony. The high priest declared before all the people, "According to the will of God, Mary shall be entrusted to Joseph." Joseph bowed his head with deep humility. "May the Lord's will be done." Mary also bowed in quiet submission. "I am the servant of the Lord." So the sacred betrothal was established, not by human choice, but by the unmistakable direction of heaven. When the ceremony had ended, Joseph returned to his humble home in Bethlehem. Life seemed ordinary once again. The streets were busy. Neighbors carried on with their daily work. Joseph repaired his home, strengthened its doors, and prepared a place for the household that would soon be entrusted to his care. Each day he labored as a skilled craftsman, shaping wood with patient hands and faithful diligence. Yet he had no idea that every board he fitted and every room he prepared would soon become part of God's greatest story. The humble carpenter was preparing a home for the one who would one day be called the Savior of the world. While Joseph prepared his home in Bethlehem, Mary departed from Jerusalem. 7 young virgins who had grown up with her accompanied her on the journey through the peaceful hills of Galilee. The road home was quiet. The countryside reflected the peace that filled her heart. Soon she arrived at the home of her parents. Joachim and Anna came forward with great joy to receive their daughter. Anna said, "My daughter." Joachim said, "The Lord has guided your steps." The family embraced with grateful hearts. For a little while, Mary would remain in the safety of her parents' home. She did not yet know that heaven was preparing to visit her in a way no human being had ever experienced. Mary stands beneath a sky filled with stars as a gentle breeze moves through the olive trees. The chosen guardian had been revealed. The sacred betrothal had been completed. Joseph returned to his humble work. Mary rested quietly in Nazareth. Everything appeared peaceful. Everything appeared ordinary. Yet beyond the sight of men, heaven was preparing to intervene once again. The greatest announcement in history was drawing near. A single brilliant star shone brightly above the village, as though creation itself waited for the next chapter of God's unfolding plan. In the next chapter, the angel Gabriel will bring a message that will change not only the lives of Mary and Joseph, but the destiny of the entire world.
Like, share, comment.